Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Blair. For today's video, I am so excited. I'm sharing my top 5 favorite color correctors with you. If you have dark circles, blue tones, purple tones, any kind of discoloration under your eyes, this video is for you. I wanted to make this for so long, but I wanted to make sure I had the best 5 choices to share with you and some really good tips and tricks that will hopefully help you out. If you're interested in my top 5 favorite correctors for under your eyes, please keep watching. Definitely give the video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. Definitely subscribe and go follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's first talk about what a corrector does. Basically, it corrects any discoloration you have under your eyes or on the rest of your face. Today, I'm going to be focusing on discoloration, particularly blue, purple tones under the eyes, because that is the issue that I definitely struggle with on a daily basis, and I do feel like I have some really good options and tips to share with you guys. I'm going to share 5 of my favorite color correctors. We have some affordable ones and some more expensive ones, so I have a really good mix of options for you. Basically, correctors come in either a liquid form or a cream form. I'm going to show you some liquids and creams today. Liquids typically come in a tube with a doe foot applicator and you just brush them on, whereas a cream is typically in a pot or a little compact. Typically the creams are much fuller coverage and the liquids can be a little less coverage, and also creams can sometimes be a little more drying, whereas liquids can be a little more moisturizing. So it depends on your needs as to which formula is going to be right for you. I think there's a big misconception about what a corrector actually does. I hear so many people saying here on YouTube, I'm going to use my concealer to correct my dark circles or to cover my dark circles. You cannot cover dark circles with concealer. I don't believe that you can. You have to first correct the darkness, correct the discoloration, and then you can use a concealer to brighten or to further conceal. But you cannot cover dark circles if you have true discoloration with concealer. You must correct before you conceal. If you take anything away from this video, it should be that you must correct first and then conceal. When you're choosing a corrector, something to keep in mind is there's not one corrector that will work for everyone. It's going to depend on your skin type, your skin tone, the level of darkness that you're trying to correct. That will determine which corrector is right for you and which shade or undertone is going to work best to correct your particular issues, if that makes sense. Some of the correctors I'm going to share with you today don't come in a ton of shades, but a few of them do come in a pretty good shade range. So it's going to depend on what works for you, but I think I have a really good assortment to share with you. One other thing I did want to mention is how I apply my corrector. You'll see this a little later when I show you the demo of me applying each corrector. But basically what I do is I will use a concealer brush, whichever concealer brush you have, go right into the corrector and brush it on right where I have the discoloration. Then I'll let it sit for a few seconds, and then I'll go in with my ring finger and lightly kind of tap it into my skin. I used to use my damp sponge and do it that way, but what I found with that is a lot of times the damp sponge will pick up too much of the corrector and it won't correct. So then you end up having to go in and apply more, and it just ends up with too much under your eyes. So now that's why I use the brush instead of the sponge. That will give you a lot better coverage, especially if you're someone that has pretty dark circles like I do. Something else that did help me is I have recently fallen in love with this eye cream, and I've shared it in a few videos. It's by Olehenriksen. It's the Banana Bright Eye Cream. And what I love about this, you'll see it's a yellow color, and it is the perfect consistency for under concealer under your eyes. It's moisturizing, but not so moisturizing that you feel like your products are slipping all around, but you can definitely see the moisture 5, 10, 15 minutes after you've applied it. So what I've been doing is basically taking my eye cream and applying it, I would say about 5 minutes, sometimes 10, before I go in with my corrector and then concealer. I used to apply my eye cream first thing in the morning when I did my skincare and I brushed my teeth. And then when I went to put my makeup on, my under eyes were very dry. It was like I had not put on any eye cream at all. Now I keep my eye cream in here with my makeup and I apply it about 5, sometimes 10 minutes before I go in with my corrector and concealer. And it makes a huge difference in how your corrector looks and how it applies. I really like this eye cream, not only for the texture and for how moisturizing it is, but it is the yellow color. So it does kind of help to brighten up under your eyes. Now it definitely does not take away any dark circles or anything like that. It's not a miracle product, but it's the first eye cream that I've seen a noticeable difference in how my under eyes look. Now I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite correctors, and hopefully this will help you and you'll find something that will work for you. So we're first starting with the corrector that I've been using the longest, and it's the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Corrector in the shade Peach. As you can see, I am almost out of this. I've used so much. This does have the doe foot applicator that I was talking about earlier. This is definitely more of a liquid corrector that you brush on. And this, I would say, is pretty medium coverage. It's going to correct most things, but if you have really severe blue and purple tones under your eyes, you may have to go in with something a little bit thicker than this one. It does retail for $29, so it is kind of on the pricier side, but I do really like it. I've been using that one forever. I love it so much. One downside to this one is it does not come in different shades. It only comes in peach. It comes in a green for redness, it comes in a yellow, which I use all the time, and then I want to say it comes in a light pink, but it doesn't come in various tones of peach for different skin tones, which is one thing that I wish they would change about it. For that one, like I said earlier, will brush it on with the doe foot applicator, and then I'll wait a few minutes and go over it with my ring finger. So this one I love. I think this is a great option. I also use the yellow color all the time. You've probably seen me use this in a bunch of my videos. This one I use to correct any redness I have on my face. So if you struggle with redness or you have a blemish that you want to tone down the redness of just a little bit, this yellow color corrector is really helpful. Next we have the most expensive one in my 5 choices, and it's by Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Magic Vanish Corrector. I have the shade number 1, which is Fair. This one is so creamy. This is kind of the best of both worlds in my opinion. It is a cream formula, so you get more coverage than you do with a liquid, but it is not drying. This one is definitely super creamy. So if you're worried about dryness but you need more coverage, you have pretty dark blue purple circles, this is probably going to be a great one for you. It is more expensive. It's $32, but I think it's worth it. I use it all the time, as you can see. Another really good thing about this one is it does come in 4 shades. This is the lightest one, Fair, but it also comes in medium, dark, and tan, I believe. So you do have 4 different shades depending on your skin tone. Next, for number 3, I have, this is probably the one I'm most excited to share with you. It's a dupe, in my opinion, for the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish. It's the Believe Beauty Color Correcting Concealer. And the best part of this is it's $4. $4. It is so similar to the Charlotte Tilbury. It's unreal. I'm going to hold them both up so you can see. The color, the texture, literally everything about these two I can't even believe it. It's so similar. This one, unfortunately, only comes in 2 shades. It comes in light medium and then medium dark. But if this shade works for you, this you need to run out and buy immediately. $4. It is so creamy. It's not drying. It gives great coverage. I love it so much. I got this a few months ago. I did a full face of Believe Beauty makeup, and this was definitely the standout product from that video. I never hear anyone talking about this, and I'm not sure why. They do call it a correcting concealer, but I would call this a corrector. This is not a concealer, in my opinion, unless you're someone that can get away with just using a corrector and no concealer, which if you have less darkness, you probably could get away with that. But this is so good. So good. If you're looking for an affordable option and you're not sure where to start, go to Dollar General or dollargeneral.com and get one of these. So good. Moving on to another affordable option, I love the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in the Brightener shade. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this concealer. It has the sponge tip applicator, and this color is a very light peach. Maybe kind of hard to tell on camera, but it is very light peach. So if you have very little discoloration, you have a little bit of blueness but not anything severe, this is going to be a great option for you. I love to use this. It's exactly what the name says. It's very brightening. So a lot of people could probably get away with just using this on its own. What I will typically do is go in with the Brightener shade first and then go in with the Age Rewind in the shade Light. So that gives you a little bit more coverage on top. But if you're someone that doesn't have a whole lot to cover and you just want to brighten up under your eyes, this by itself is a great option. It's usually around $9.99 depending on where you buy it. This one definitely gives the least amount of coverage compared to the other correctors that I'm sharing with you, but I did want to mention it because I do still use it, even though for me it usually doesn't cover up everything because my darkness is pretty severe. But if yours isn't, that would be a really great option. I would definitely recommend it. If you've used the Age Rewind concealer before, you'll know it is a very thin, lightweight texture. So if you're worried about something thick and cakey up under your eyes, this would be a great option for you. Because it's so lightweight, you don't have to worry about it ever looking caked on or creasy or dry or anything like that. You can just brush some of that on, tap it in with your ring finger, and you're good to go. Number 5 is my favorite. I love all of these correctors that I'm sharing with you, but if I could only choose one, it would be this one. It's the Bobbi Brown corrector. It's kind of fitting that Bobbi Brown's is my favorite because I'm pretty sure she is the one that said concealer and corrector are the secrets of the universe or something. I love this one because I personally need a lot of coverage. You guys have seen in my videos, I have a lot of blue and purple circles and I have them constantly. You can see how much of this I've used. I've already hit pan on it. I use the shade Bisque in this corrector. One awesome thing about this one is it comes in 16 shades. So Bobbi Brown has everyone covered, literally. Anyone could find a shade that would work for them in this corrector because they have so many choices. Like I said, I wear the shade Bisque. Bobbi Brown's correctors basically come in 2 undertones. She has peach and she has Bisque. Bisque is more for purple and blue toned dark circles, whereas peach is more for green, gray, or brown dark circles. And another thing I really love is if you go to the Bobbi Brown website or even on Sephora's website, I'm pretty sure, if you toggle over the different shades of this corrector, it gives you a description of that particular shade, like what skin tone it would work for and what color or severity of darkness it would help to correct. So if you can't make it to a Bobbi Brown counter or to Sephora, go on the website, and if you look at the descriptions of each color, hopefully that will help you determine which corrector shade is right for you. This one is pretty pricey. It's $29, but to me it is worth every single penny. You can see how much I've used of it, and I just love it. This is definitely the fullest coverage of the correctors that I've shared with you today. It is pretty thick, but that's why moisturizing really well with an eye cream beforehand is going to be super important with this one. So those are my top 5 favorite correctors. You guys have probably seen me use most of those in my videos. I kind of rotate them depending on how I'm feeling that day and how dark I feel like I look under my eyes, but I do hope this video was helpful for you. I've been talking about making this video for quite some time, but I really wanted to take my time in making it just to make sure I was giving you my 5 absolute favorite choices, so you'd have a really good starting point. I have tried all 5 of these and they are all tried and true choices for me. I wanted to make this video because I hear so many times people saying you buy concealer for dark circles. In my opinion, that's not true. You should buy a corrector for your dark circles and you buy a concealer to brighten up under your eyes after you have corrected the discoloration. I feel like so many people just pick up a concealer and say, I'm using this to cover up my dark circles. You cannot cover a dark circle with a concealer, in my opinion. Unless you just have very, very slight darkness under your eyes, a brighter concealer might work for you. But if you have true blue and purple tones or brown tones, gray tones, green tones under your eyes, you have to correct those tones before you apply concealer. Otherwise, you're going to get frustrated and just keep applying more and more concealer because it's not going to give you the result that you're looking for. If you correct first, a lot of times you can use a lot less concealer, which therefore doesn't result in cakiness, dryness, creasing, all of those things that nobody wants. A lot of times, corrector is more important than a concealer, in my opinion. I also think that some people would benefit more from a corrector than they would from a concealer. Sometimes just correcting under your eyes also brightens up under your eyes. So it's like a 2-in-1. You correct and that in turn brightens up your under eyes. So I think it's something really important to talk about. That's why I wanted to make this video. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube and it would mean so much if you would subscribe. One last thing, make sure to go follow me on Instagram at simply.blair. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.